Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Admas Andelichawok. A lot of people are accusing Ndlozi of cheap politicking or trying to score cheap political points at during his speech at Buthelez's funeral, because I understand they were given at least 3 minutes. He went on for 4 to 5 minutes to speak about the IFP, to encourage the IFP, the current IFP leader, to bring about unity within the party and not to let it divide itself and die. So at the end of his speech, he mobilized the masses, and a lot of people say that that was a wrong platform. He was not supposed to speak about the victory or speak or promise the people of South Africa victory in 2024 or prepare for an EFF-led government come 2024. So I ask myself a question. I mean, Ndlozi is a politician, he's a spokesperson. I mean, he defended the EFF during its formative stages when it was not fashionable to do so, and he broke boundaries for the likes of Vuyani Pambo and Sinawo Tambo to come in and cruise as a spokesperson for the EFF. So him, wherever I speak, as a political educator and as someone who holds a mandate, who was given a mandate to mobilize and canvass for the EFF, regardless of situation, environment, or anything, the EFF comes first to a person of Ndlozi's caliber. It is upon him, and it was upon him, and we should have expected him to speak like that. So a lot of people were saying that that was not the platform. It was supposed to comfort the family and help them go through this mourning moment, and help them try to find ways to accept whatever bad situation that they are going through as a family. But he late, upon finishing his or concluding his speech, after he asked for at least a minute to conclude, it is where we heard him speak about that it is high time that we go and vote for an alternative. It is high time that we give the EFF, and they must work together with IFP to uproot the ANC in power, or to remove the ANC from power. So a lot of people on Twitter or X came lambasting on Ndlozi, saying that he was not supposed to speak like that in that platform. He was supposed to focus on the funeral, but that is a funeral of a politician, and a politician who led one of the most successful opposition parties in South Africa when it was not fashionable to do so. So he also mentioned in his speech, saying that they draw lessons from Buthelezi, who took the ANC head on while it was not fashionable to do so. So those who understand politics, it didn't come to them as a surprise to see Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, or to hear him representing his political party and speaking the position of the EFF and promising the masses of the people. I mean, it was an easy job. The people were already organized because that was a Category 1 state funeral. They were already organized. It was not the logistics of the EFF. So given 3 minutes, he had to speak for his political party as a politician. And I think he did not spoke about the EFF or made any promises or assurance to the people that come 2024 they're going to emerge victorious. He should have wasted that platform, because they were laying to rest one of the opposition party leaders, who in the beginning of his speech, he stated that they draw lessons from him. They worked very close to him in parliament, and there's a lot that they learned from the IFP. We've heard the spokesperson of the EFF during the week saying that when the EFF had to canvass or enter, mobilize in KwaZulu-Natal, they were given a green light by the IFP leader, Buthelezi. So he played a role in the formation of the EFF and in helping them reach out to other provinces, because it's difficult for a lot of politicians who go on to form different or alternative political parties to enter into strongholds of the ANC, DA, and IFP in particular. It becomes difficult. They have to establish themselves elsewhere and try to grow from there. So being given a green light by Mangosuthu to go into KwaZulu-Natal as the EFF, as the new political party, to go and mobilize and canvass in KwaZulu-Natal, this is a very important role that Mangosuthu Buthelezi has played on the growth and formation of the EFF. That summary, that 3, 4, 5 minutes speech has covered a lot about the relationship that they had with him. And a lot of people on Twitter, I think, didn't listen to Mbuyiseni Ndlozi because they spoke like he was out of line. They spoke like he didn't speak anything about the funeral. He didn't speak to the family directly. But he did that. He did that, and he even promised the family, the mourners, that they must understand that after all these activities, state funeral, they will be left alone and everyone else will be gone. And that is a reality. And it's something that a lot of people do not utter whenever people are encountered with such difficult situations. So, I mean, him being brave to say it in the presence of all leaders and viewers out there, I think was brave, and he had to say it because we know that there are people who will come in funerals to promise that they will always return to check on the remaining people and things like that, but they later don't do that. They are nowhere to be found, they are nowhere to be seen, and that blocks the people who were supposed to took it upon themselves to help such a family. And since those people will come and speak, so they prevent others who are supposed to do it actively without even talking about it in a funeral. So it's a problem. At least someone had to say it. At least someone had to speak to say they must not expect anyone to come back to help them or rescue them. They are on their own. This is because that is a true reality. That is how it happens. So a lot of people who were blaming the Mbuyiseni for his speech, I think they didn't understand, or they want to do away with the fact that he is a political party representative who, wherever he goes, he carries a mandate, and the mandate is to ensure that he mobilizes for the party, he recruits for the party, and he always speaks about the political party, his political party's position. So he had to assure everyone that come 2024, the EFF is going to take power, so that consciously people are prepared for an alternative political party. I mean, each and every politician had a chance to use that 3 minutes, 4 minutes to say whatever comes to their mind. It's either to speak or to divide the minutes, speak to the family, speak to the mourners and or supporters, and then later speak to their political party, because they were there as political party representatives, as parliamentarians, but at the end of the day, they have a mission to defeat the ANC, because he even went on to speak about Marikana, saying that people like Mangosuthu Buthelezi post-apartheid, they never gave them problems. They were never seen to be as ruthless as cowards out there are accusing them. And that there are people who, in the democratic South Africa, they are still killing people. They have killed people in Marikana and never accounted. And we know who he meant by that. He was addressing the president of South Africa. He was addressing President Cyril Ramaphosa to say, people, 34 miners died in Marikana and no one has accounted till today, 10 years later. And we know that Marikana is one of the strongholds and political home of the EFF, it is one of the places or environments where it is well received, and each and every year before they celebrate their birthday, they go to Marikana to commemorate the people who passed, who were killed by the police in Marikana. So it was quite sensitive, and I think it had to be like that. I mean, as a politician from opposition benches, he had to speak like that, and he had to make sure that he maintains the position of the EFF. Imagine someone who goes there to speak and doesn't sound as a politician and doesn't sound as a political party representative or parliamentary representative, because people are in parliament because we vote for them to go and represent us. We vote for them because we believe that these are the people who must liberate us. These are the people who must solve the problems of South Africa. So whenever they are given a chance to speak, they still have to affirm to us, the voters, where they stand, what is their position. So whether it was a funeral, whether it was a party, or a wedding, a politician will never change, and the message will remain the same. We know that we've entered a season where politicians are trying to do anything. They will do anything to win that single vote. So no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation, how bad or good it is, they will always remind us or make us understand that come 2024, we must give them their vote. And they must always, give that last minute voter education so that we understand what we are entering to. We understand what we are confronting. So the 3, 4 to 5 minutes speech by Mbuyiseni Ndlozi that caused controversy, it didn't come as a surprise to me, and I know to a lot of other people who understands who Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is, and who understand that wherever a politician goes, they must speak politics. They must do politics. They must question everything. They must seek answers and hold people to account. That is what he did, because he held the president to account for Marikana, and he also poke on the president of the IFP, saying that he must stand up tall, he must be strong, and he must make sure that the party is organized, the party is more united, strong, and they must work together to defeat the ANC in 2024, and they must do it for Mangosuthu. So what he was trying to do there, Mbuyiseni was trying to take away KwaZulu-Natal from the ANC. That's what he was doing. He was saying to the IFP, we can do this. We can kick the ANC out of power in KwaZulu-Natal come 2024 if we work together, if you make sure as president of the IFP that the IFP remains solid, even stronger than before. So that is a good message. What else do we expect from a fellow opposition party representative or member? Because somewhere, somehow, opposition parties have the same goal. And the goal is to oust the ruling party and be that number one leader. And professors and other political analysts are teaching us or preparing us that South Africa will never see in the few coming elections, they will never witness a political party that wins general elections with an outright majority. So we must prepare for coalitions. And these small emerging political parties must work together to try and make sure that they eat the ANC alive and win elections. That is what needs to happen. So Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was trying to create a relationship between the IFP and the EFF in KwaZulu-Natal, that they must work together. And if they work together, they're going to defeat the ANC. Because we know that there's a moonshot pack, things like that, organized by the DA or led by the DA, where even the IFP agreed to. They signed an agreement, but we saw the youth brigade or the National Youth Brigade of the IFP opposing that decision, saying that it lacked consultation and it was not well informed. So they questioned that decision, and I think IFP might pull out of that a coalition organized by the DA or led by the DA, which even the DA put it to those people to say the political party that will have a majority is going to produce president and things like that, which means it also confirms that the DA does not want coalition, but it wants to use other political parties for them to push their own narrative. Because coalition means all of you did not win. You must work together, must co-govern. So you cannot say, even before elections, even before the results, that you want to be the leader if it happens that if you join your votes, you can lead in a particular province or even national. So you propose to be president or you propose to be premier and things like that. It's wrong. It shows the ambitions of the party that all they want is to govern and they don't trust anyone else. So we also had Ken Gunen speaking about these issues in Johannesburg, that the DA is a bully and the DA does not support democracy and does not support co-governance or coalition. So I think the IFP, for purposes of uniting and being solid after the passing of its founding father, Buthelezi, it has to be independent, and it must never forget its values and principles, and it must go back to its manifesto, its promises to the people, and it must make sure that it moves just like that, with unity, being solid, and make sure that they try and win KwaZulu-Natal come 2024. Just do it for Buthelezi in respect of his legacy and what he has started. So when Mbuyiseni challenges the president of the IFP to unite the IFP, to make it even stronger, and he proposed that they must work together in order to defeat the ANC in 2024. These are some of the things that he was trying to trigger even in the minds of Amabutho, even in the minds of the Zulu nation, even in the minds of people who are not interested in politics, who were there, who were watching this funeral proceeding. So he was triggering their minds so that they become ready to vote for an alternative. And he was reminding them that the current head of state of South Africa is not the one. The current head of state of South Africa is corrupt to the core, and he is not transparent, and he is not accountable. He does not account for. He did not account for the 4 miners in Marikana. He did not account for the CR17 campaign, accused of 1 billion rand. He went to the courts to seal the CR17 bank statements, and they did not account for Phala. So there's a lot that is happening. There's a lot that has happened, and he was trying to educate the masses, because the masses were already organized, to witness the funeral and the final send-off of their leader. So he got them organized, and he had to seize that's a opportunity as a politician. He had to do that. You can blame Ndlozi the way you want, but I agree with him. Any politician should have done that. So this Authentic Info podcast, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let us grow together. Thank you.